mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
So I really look at I love a challenge though, and I'm just so proud of every bit of it. We went through a whole roller coaster of the human experience, and I'm very proud.
Marvel fans were left in absolute shock when the studio made an unprecedented move, filing a lawsuit against Blake Lively, known for steering clear of public drama, especially with A-list celebrities. Marvel's decision signaled something huge was brewing. The industry buzzed with speculation, as insiders whispered that Blake was at the center of a major controversy, accused of mishandling top-secret Deadpool material. Some even claimed she had deliberately leaked classified details to sway public opinion in her favor, while battling her own growing scandals. The whole situation felt unreal. Could Blake, once the embodiment of the flawless, all-American sweetheart, really have crossed a line so severe that Marvel had no choice but to take legal action? For months, behind-the-scenes whispers hinted at rising tensions, first linked to Blake's involvement in a project directed by Justin Baldoni. At first, it seemed like a perfect match. Blake's star power combined with Justin's talent for heartfelt storytelling. But things took a turn fast. Reports suggested Blake wasn't happy with Justin's level of creative control, leading to a clash that no one saw coming. Justin Baldoni wasn't just directing. He had co-written the script and was set to star in the film himself. Insiders claimed this didn't sit well with Blake, who allegedly felt overshadowed and frustrated that her creative input was being ignored. But then, Justin's camp fired back with receipts. A flood of text messages painted a completely different picture, showing Blake calling in favors from her own powerhouse connections, including none other than her husband, Deadpool's leading man, Ryan Reynolds, to push decisions in her favor. Things got even wilder. Mentions of dragons and urgent messages to media insiders suggested Blake was the one pulling the strings, strategically shaping public perception. What could have remained a behind-the-scenes Hollywood power struggle took a shocking turn the moment Marvel got dragged into the mess. Deadpool was one of Marvel's crown jewels, a massive success with Ryan Reynolds at the center, delivering his signature wisecracks. The studio had built a financial empire around his character, making him one of their most prized assets. But as Blake's battle with Justin spiraled, whispers started circulating. Was Ryan's influence and possibly Marvel's highly classified Deadpool material being leveraged in the feud? The idea of Blake leaking sensitive studio secrets just to shift the narrative in her favor seemed outrageous. But Marvel's legal team allegedly found evidence that couldn't be ignored. Quietly, the studio launched a full-scale investigation, determined to uncover whether its most guarded intellectual property had been compromised. And if so, just how deep the breach went. What turned the swirling speculation into a full-blown legal firestorm was Marvel's bombshell decision to take formal action. In a carefully crafted statement, the studio accused an unnamed party of misusing proprietary information tied to a major franchise. But behind the scenes, insiders wasted no time confirming the shocking truth. Blake Lively was at the center of the storm. Marvel executives reportedly suspected that she had either leaked, or at the very least, threatened to leak, Deadpool's secrets as a way to shift attention away from her own growing controversies. But Blake's camp wasn't having it. They fiercely denied any wrongdoing, insisting she never had access to confidential Deadpool material in the first place. Instead, they accused Marvel of turning her into a convenient scapegoat for leaks that could have originated elsewhere. But their strong defense clashed with the damning text messages from her feud with Justin Baldoni. Those messages exposed Blake's willingness to use behind-the-scenes power plays when it suited her, which led to an even bigger question. If she had pulled strings before, could she have done it again, this time on an even grander scale? Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds, famous for his quick wit and playful online persona, suddenly went radio silent. Fans speculated wildly. Was he preparing a legal counterstrike? Or was he caught in an impossible dilemma, choosing between standing by his wife or safeguarding his golden relationship with Marvel? With each passing day, the pressure mounted, and Ryan's silence only deepened the mystery. For Justin Baldoni, who had unknowingly sparked this entire firestorm just by defending his own reputation, the fallout became a relentless distraction. While he insisted his only goal was to set the record straight about his role as a director, he admitted in interviews that if Deadpool's secrets had truly been weaponized, the situation was far more serious than he initially realized. Yet, instead of adding fuel to the legal inferno, Justin made a conscious choice to stay focused on completing his film, keeping his distance from the spiraling chaos. Meanwhile, Marvel's lawsuit laid out heavy accusations, citing breaches of confidentiality, potential financial damages, and possible contract violations. Though the exact amount in question remained under wraps, analysts speculated that Marvel was seeking not just monetary compensation, but also a strict injunction to prevent any further leaks from surfacing. The stakes skyrocketed when the possibility of depositions came into play. If the case moved forward, lawyers could demand access to Blake and Ryan's phone records, emails, and private messages, combing through every exchange to determine whether Marvel's classified Deadpool information had been intentionally used as a bargaining chip. And considering how deeply personal this feud had become, the odds of private conversations being exposed seemed almost unavoidable. Fans were completely divided. Some refused to believe Blake would ever jeopardize the franchise that had catapulted Ryan into Hollywood's A-list, securing his place as a powerhouse star. But others weren't so convinced. They pointed to her history of strategic media moves, arguing that, for Blake, controlling the narrative might have been the real priority, even if it meant some collateral damage along the way. This group also pointed to another major red flag: Blake's attorney's sudden departure, citing irreconcilable differences. To them, it was a clear sign that things were unraveling behind the scenes. What started as vague speculation took a sharp turn when concrete allegations surfaced. Entertainment insiders began leaking explosive claims, saying they had received scoops about Deadpool cameos and script changes, all suspiciously coinciding with the peak of Blake's PR crisis. And it didn't stop there. Marvel's legal complaint reportedly included time-stamped evidence directly linking these leaks to the exact moments when Blake was under the most intense public scrutiny over her feud with Justin. If proven true, it wouldn't just suggest a leak. It would hint at a calculated move to manipulate the media cycle. Inside Marvel, top executives stood their ground. The studio had always enforced airtight NDAs, locked down film sets, and heavily coded scripts to eliminate leaks. If someone within their trusted circle had deliberately bypassed these protocols, it wasn't just about one actress. It was a direct threat to Marvel's entire empire. Under mounting pressure, Ryan Reynolds finally broke his silence, but in the most careful way possible. In a brief statement, he expressed nothing but deep respect for Marvel and wished for a fair resolution. He expertly walked the fine line between standing by his wife and safeguarding his own career. But what stood out the most? Ryan's words never directly addressed Blake's alleged involvement. Instead, his statement focused on his appreciation for Deadpool, the very role that revitalized his career. And noticeably, he didn't rush to defend Blake or declare her innocence. His silence on that front only fueled more speculation. Was he choosing to stay neutral? Or was there more to the story than anyone realized? Ryan Reynolds' carefully worded statement reflected the impossible balancing act he was facing, protecting his long-standing relationship with Marvel while trying to avoid personal fallout with his wife. But behind the scenes, things weren't so clear-cut. Blake's reaction to Ryan's cautious approach remained a mystery, but insiders speculated that tensions between them were rising as the lawsuit escalated. The couple, once known for their playful social media banter, suddenly went radio silent. Instead of their usual cheeky exchanges, their feeds became a stream of neutral promotional posts, offering no glimpse into where they really stood. Some believed they were secretly united, working behind the scenes to fight Marvel's claims, but others whispered a different theory, that Ryan had been completely blindsided by the leaks, never imagining they would spiral into a full-blown legal war. Meanwhile, despite the storm raging around him, Justin Baldoni successfully wrapped filming on his project. He remained tight-lipped about Marvel's case, but admitted it was surreal watching a personal dispute explode into an industry-wide scandal. Fans were split into camps, some hoping for Blake's redemption, others standing firmly behind Marvel, and many simply stunned by how messy everything had become. But one thing was certain: if Marvel lost trust in Ryan or began rethinking his future, Deadpool's entire trajectory could change in a major way. Amid all the chaos, a shocking rumor emerged. Blake was allegedly considering handing over phone records to prove, once and for all, that she never personally leaked Deadpool's storylines. Would it be enough to clear her name, or would it only add more fuel to the fire? However, skeptics weren't convinced. They pointed to the calculated wording in Blake's messages to Justin, implying certain truths without ever explicitly stating them. If Marvel's internal investigation managed to link the leaks back to her circle, everything could come down to one critical question: were those messages innocent disclaimers, or a masterclass in plausible deniability? Fans found themselves torn. On one side, Blake's carefully curated public image clashed with Marvel's unwavering commitment to secrecy, creating fierce debates across social media. Was the studio overreacting, or simply taking necessary steps to protect its multi-billion-dollar franchise? For industry insiders, this was more than just another Hollywood scandal. It was a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of how quickly personal conflicts can spiral into full-scale crises when celebrity power collides with a massive franchise. Just months ago, Blake was a beloved Hollywood darling, dealing with minor creative disagreements. Now she was at the center of one of the most explosive legal battles in recent memory. One moment, she was a fixture of red carpets and glamorous premieres. The next, she was locked in a high-stakes showdown with one of the most powerful studios in the world. This entire saga served as a harsh reality check. No matter how powerful a celebrity might be, no one is untouchable when their actions threaten a studio's most closely guarded secrets or disrupt its billion-dollar plans. Hollywood might run on star power, but when it comes to protecting intellectual property, even the biggest names can find themselves in serious trouble. Where this all leads remains uncertain. Legal disputes in Hollywood often get settled behind closed doors, with airtight agreements ensuring the full truth never reaches the public. If that happens here, fans may never learn the real extent of Marvel's allegations against Blake. But if the studio refuses to back down and pushes forward, depositions could change everything, potentially unleashing a flood of internal communications that either reinforce Marvel's claims or completely dismantle them. Regardless of how this lawsuit plays out, whether through a quiet settlement or a dramatic courtroom showdown, it has already exposed just how fragile celebrity status can be. No matter how high a star rises, one misstep, one wrong move, and everything can come crashing down if they cross certain industry lines. In Hollywood, reputation is everything, and even those who seem untouchable can suddenly find themselves in a losing battle when personal ambition collides with professional ethics. For Marvel, this lawsuit isn't just about one actress. It's about setting a precedent. The message is crystal clear. No actor, no matter how beloved, is above the rules when it comes to safeguarding the secrets of a billion-dollar cinematic empire. Once that trust is broken, even the most powerful figures may find themselves fighting an uphill battle just to regain their place in the industry.